Hi. So today I will be going over the basics of Excel interface. Okay, the navigation panes that you see on top: home, insert, draw, page layout, so on and so forth. Right. So what each of these entails and what are the basic functions of each of these? If you are very new to Excel, how do you achieve simple tasks using an Excel spreadsheet? So those are all kind of queries I'm going to try to cater to today, right? So let's go to the home tab first. Okay, in the home tab, let's say, so before even I go there, right, Excel is a spreadsheet software, which means it's a row and column kind of structure. Row and columns are called tabular data. So for example, I have something called name, and then I have some phone, right? Then I have some address, right? So that kind of thing. Okay. Now in the home tab, what is available? Whoever is coming from a Microsoft Word background will have more understanding, or even if you're using Microsoft Outlook for that matter, you need to format your text, right? To make it look better, to highlight certain aspects of it. So all of that is available in the home tab. Okay. So let's say I click on this color tab. So right now the yellow is selected, so it highlighted that entire cell in yellow. If I select red, it is going to highlight it in red, right? Okay, so that is one thing. Another thing, that the button right next to it is the font color. Okay, when you don't want to highlight the entire cell and you just want to highlight that particular text, you have to use this option, this A button. Okay, so that's how you do color formatting for fonts in Excel. Okay, and then let's say you have I have some address, right? Let's say I have an address called Delhi Vasant Kunj, and I say pin code 110027, right? So it's a long text, right? So this text, okay, if I expand this row, this text, see, this text is bottoming at is appearing at the bottom left of the cell. Okay, so all these buttons, this one will take the text to the top left of the cell. This one will take it to the middle left of the cell. This one is going to take to the bottom left again, right? This one is again bottom left, this one is middle, this one is right. Okay, and then if you want to, so let's say you have this data. So you have a adapt text option. Okay, adapt text does what? Okay, I will just show you. So if our cell space, right, cell is nothing but where you have this green highlighted box, that is the cell. A cell is identified by a row and column combination. So when I'm clicking on this particular cell, it is saying C2. C2 means what? C is the column and 2 is the row, right? So C2 is the column. So if I do wrap text, what will happen? It will show entire information in this particular cell. But if I do not do wrap text, it is going to show it in some other manner. Okay, maybe something like this. Okay, if you want to show entire information, use wrap text. Okay, then let's explore the merge and center because it's used very frequently in Excel. Okay, let's say I have my name and then I have my phone number and then I have another row here. Okay, with my phone number. Okay, but my address is same. So what I want to do, I want to keep two separate rows for name and phone. But for the address column, I want to merge this. So if I click on merge and center, see, there is just one column, one row for address, for the two corresponding rows of name and phone number. Okay, that is the purpose of merger. You don't necessarily have to merge and center. You can also do merge cells, unmerged cells. If you want to do unmerged cells, right? You can simply click unmerged cells. It will unmerge it. Okay, so that's the functionality. I think that are the most of the functions that you're going to use from the home tab. Okay, now coming to the uh, data tab, right? This is also one of the most commonly used tabs that you are going to use for data analysis, right? Reason being, it allows you to do all kinds of transformations, manipulations, or wranglings of the data using very simple wizards or formulas. Okay, so I'm going to show you the key features of the data tab. Okay, so in the data tab, you have an option to get data. So you have these options. You can get data from any file, from another Excel workbook, for example, from XML, from JSON, from PDF, from folder, from any database, like from SQL Server database, MySQL database, Oracle database, PostgreSQL database, and all of that, right? So you can fetch data like that. Then you can also fetch data from text or CSV, from picture, and then you have, okay, let me explain you one very important feature, which is text to columns. Okay, let me create a sample file here. Okay, one second. So let me go to downloads, and then I will create a new uh, one second. Let me create one file which is like name, or not name actually. Uh, let's say that it is your LIC policy number. Okay, sorry for the spelling mistake. Okay, LIC policy number. Let's assume it has a lot of different. Okay, let's take address as an example. That will be much better. Okay, so in the address field, let's say you are adding very first thing, you add your floor number, right? Let's say first floor, and then hyphen, and then you say your building number, right? Apartment one hyphen, and then your street, right? So street is, let's say, um, anything, right? A B Avenue, and then you add your city, right? Let's say I'm adding my city as Kolkata, right? And then you add India, right? So you have added all components of the address. Okay. Now what you want is, let's say you want one column for the floor, one column for the apartment, one column for the road, one column for the city, and one column for the country, right? What I need is, I want this way: floor, building name, street, city, and then country, right? Now I have to break this out into different columns. How do I do that, right? So there is this text to column option. Okay, so when you click on text to column option, it will allow you to delimiting. Now whoever is not heard of the term delimiting, delimiting is basically when you have comma separated, dot separated, hyphen separated, any separators, fixed separators between different strings or different texts, right? You That is called a delimiter. Now in this delimiter, you what do you think is the delimiter if I want to create these new sets of columns? you guessed right. That should be hyphen, right? Because we have put hyphen across all of this. See, when I click hyphen, it will say first floor, apartment 1, AB Avenue, Kolkata, India, right? I'm getting all of this in these columns, and I click finish. See, all this came into different columns, right? So it got moved a bit left because in this one this was not delimited because you didn't have a hyphen on top of that. But you get the point, right? So it will delimit it based on whatever delimited, right? Let's say now I have same thing. Okay. So ideally you should copy the first thing here. So basically what I mean is copy it here. Okay. So it will take it from the first column. So here now my delimiter is what? Earlier it was hyphen. Easily guess that it is dot, right? Again I will go text to columns, delimited, and then this time it's a dot. So others, and I will click on dot. Okay, click finish. See, floor, first floor, building name, street, city, country, everything is coming as expected. So that is a very very useful feature when you want to convert one particular string which is delimited by any delimiter, be it comma, dot, hyphen, underscore, anything, into separate columns. You can use that. Okay, hope I made sense. Okay. Okay, now coming to another very critically used tool which is called remove duplicates. Okay, so now let's say I have this floor, building name, country, city, and all of that, right? And I copy this and I paste this again, and I paste this again, and I paste this again. This time I change my apartment number to apartment number 2. Okay, so now let's select all the columns. Okay, what is the name itself will tell you that it will remove duplicates. Okay, as I copied the first row 3 times, the output should basically just give the one row of apartment 1 and one row for apartment 2, right? So I will do remove duplicates. I will click OK. It will say two duplicate value found, and as expected I have apartment 1 and apartment 2, right? So that is a very commonly used tool. Okay, so I think those are pretty, and also these things. Sort is pretty much like you want to sort this by name. So apartment 1, apartment 2. If I do descending, it will say apartment 2 first and 1. Why? Because 2 comes after 1, so it will in descending order. Apartment 2 will come in the first row. If I do Z A to Z, it will say apartment 1, apartment 2, like that. Okay. Hmm. Now, filter obviously. Okay. So in filter, okay, there's a shortcut for filter. Okay, I want to give a quick tip here. So shortcut for applying filter is click on any of the columns, click on any of the columns in the top row which contains the headers, and then hit control plus shift plus L. It will apply or allow you to apply filters with these small arrows appearing here. Okay, now let's say I want to filter just apartment 2. I have to do this. Okay, that's the purpose of filter.